Hey, I'm Analytical, and today we are going to be reviewing the Alyssa Edwards plus Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette. I got this from Evan, who got it from his friend at Anastasia Beverly Hills, so thanks guys. And we aren't going to be doing this review like any old YouTube channel. The goal of this channel is to bring you all into my world of coding and technology. So while there's no code here, that doesn't mean I can't bring my world of technology to this. At my job, I work with more than just engineers. There are product managers, technical writers, reliability teams, and user experience designers, just to name a few. One role that really excites me is user experience design, or UX design for short. This is a job dedicated to understanding what users of a product are trying to do, then suggesting ways to build or change that product using that information. This is a role all about empathy for people and hearing their stories, something I think queer people are inherently good at doing. So, we're going to take a look at this Alyssa Edwards eyeshadow palette and think like a user experience designer would think about it. We're going to ask the questions they might ask when building a product and try out the palette and then give it a review based on this information. I'm going to go do my brows off camera and then let's dive in. So before we even open the palette, let's think about who is this palette for? Who are the users we're trying to design an experience for? We know that Alyssa is a classic drag queen, a pageant girl, but she loves glitter, bold colors. We also see her in a lot of smoky eyes. Just from that, I can think of two possible user groups that we would want to define for this. There are drag queens who want to use this palette because they want to support Alyssa Edwards. They are probably doing similar looks to her. And the second group I can think of is medium to advanced, maybe even just medium makeup users. People who may have maybe have one palette or two palettes and looking to get their next palette, maybe not total experts. And maybe these people are thinking this palette could be that entryway into playing with more glamorous makeup looks and give them a lot of bold colors. These are the two user groups we're going to follow through this review. So why don't we open up the palette and show you what it is. So is the reality of these color choices that were made, does this match up to the expectations of what people were expecting when they thought Alyssa Edwards eyeshadow palette, is this what we get? And I actually think yes. We get a ton of bold colors and glitters. I'm going to do some swatches right now and then I'll talk over it with my thoughts about these color choices. So I just went ahead and swatched them all. I tried to record the video of myself doing it, but it did not come out very well. So I just forgot to hit record. But we've got a really nice set of colors here. And what I could really notice looking at these, there are a lot of really wild colors. We've got this hot pink, this kind of plum, and then this kind of glittery red, but they all go together. So these three could all be combined in a look. Or there are these two purples and this blue. There are a lot of wild colors in here, but they go together. They were thoughtfully picked out in a way that's gonna let you create looks that are more fun than if you just had a palette of nudes or even just a palette of wild colors. It's a great in-between palette for that user that is a maybe mid-level makeup user who's just has one or two palettes. This actually does seem like a great addition to that. We're gonna get a lot of colors, but there are three kind of brown shades. There's a black and a white, and the white doesn't show up too well on here or on my wrist at all, not even just on the camera. So I think that might be more of something to set with, but all the other colors really did show up very well. The final thing I want us to look at is just the layout of the palette and how conducive is this to doing a look? Is this something people expect? And I think yes, this is the standard Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette shape. So people are going to expect this. Maybe they could have put here they put the red and the metallic red near each other. It would have been nice maybe if they had the metallic purple and the purple near each other, or maybe the browns. So they could have organized these a little bit better, but it doesn't matter too much in the long run. And they also did include a little brush. There's a blending end, which feels pretty soft and dense, and then there's kind of this other soft edge. I think it's pretty standard for a palette like this to include a brush, and I feel like they're probably including a very similar brush with all their palettes. So this might be a little bit wasteful. This might not be why people are coming for this palette. I know I see a lot of beauty gurus just throw away these brushes that come with the palette, so that might be something to think about. Is this something the user's gonna need? And I actually think this is great for this kind of palette. For a drag queen who has maybe doing tons of different colors, an extra brush is awesome. And for someone who's getting into the game of more makeup, having an extra brush is also going to be really beneficial to them. So let's finally put this on my eyes and see how that goes. I'm going to do 2 eye looks today. Both ideally are going to follow the same kind of shape and proportions, but I'm going to use different colors. I'm going to try to do one with the purples, since there's a metallic purple and a matte purple, and then one with the red, since there's the same in that. I'm going to use just my Kryolan paint stick for a base on the eyes. This is typically what I use. So the first steps are going to be pretty similar. I'm going to dip into the white just to kind of set that a little bit, since I used some concealer up there and haven't set it yet. And I think this is going to be the primary use for this white. It's not super pigmented, which is fine, but it'll be great to kind of just set maybe a brow bone or set something that's kind of white. Then I'm going to dip into shade H.O.E, which is kind of a light brown. I'm picking it up on this maybe wide fluffy brush, and I'm going to use this to just carve out the crease for some blending. This one's a little powdery. And I love to use like a brown just to start out to kind of carve out the shape and kind of set the direction of it. And then I can blend in the colors after. And this actually seems like a great color for me. I'd be curious to see how these colors would perform on a deeper skin, because this brown is looking really natural for me. So is this palette geared towards a certain skin color? We have a few browns which we could use to blend. There's like a peach, this medium brown which I'm using, and then a deeper brown. Are those colors enough for a variety of skin tones? Now I'm going to take the brush they actually gave me and blend this out. I made a very soft edge, so I'm actually pretty happy with it. This is a great brush. I'm definitely happy it was included. Here's where we're going to differentiate these looks. We're going to do red on one eye and purple on the other. Taking Texas Made on a flat brush and a sheet of paper. I'm going to just stamp this on. And now with a fluffy brush, we're going to blend this into the crease. Now I'm going to cut the crease on here, and I'm just using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in, I don't know, white. On the other side of this flat brush, I'm actually going to wet it and then take the metallic red on that and apply it to the center of the eye. And I just use water in a bottle for this. Don't want to waste any of that MAC Fix Plus on this. You can really see that these colors just go really well together. It's like the glittery red is basically made to sit on top of this matte red. And there's definitely a noticeable difference in the metallics versus the mattes. The metallics are really buttery, which I've heard from my friend is kind of the trend with the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows. They'll be very buttery, where the other ones are not so buttery. And to wrap up this eye and make it more smoky, make it more like Alyssa Edwards, I'm going to dab some black on the outer corner and then blend it all out. We'll go in and clean up this edge with foundation once we are done with this other eye. We're going to do the other eye now and follow the same exact steps, but with the purples instead. Definitely having a bit of trouble blending out this. I mean, I stamped it on, but it's like not going anywhere at this point. All right, I'm gonna do the cut crease and see if afterwards when we blend it out with the black, see how that goes and see maybe it will blend out with that. But on this side, I had no blending issues, and maybe that was the application, or I mean, it could be either thing, but it's just something to keep in mind. Wow, that's like a really good purple. Yeah, I'm really liking this purple. This is, I mean, this whole look is already really starting to pop because of the two metallics in the middle. And actually for both eyes, I'm noticing the metallic got a little diffuse, so I'm gonna just use my fingers, put it directly on there to see if I can get more. All right, wow, this is already looking great. I'm gonna go do foundation, a bit of contour, clean up the edge, and then we'll be right back to do the liner, lashes, and the lower lash line. So I'm going to take these flat brushes that I was doing the colors on, and I'm actually going to just swap them so I can get the pink on the side with the purple and the purple on the side with the pink. And I'm just going to use the matte colors for these. So I'm going to use Believe and Texas Made for both of these. I'm just going to stamp this on. I'm actually even going to create some space between, and I'll go blend that out. Then using this angled brush that I did the cut creases on, I'm gonna just make that sharp as well, like I did with the lines on both of those ends. I think one final touch before I add lashes on is gonna be adding some highlight. There were some metallics in this Alyssa Edwards palette, but no highlights. So I actually just went and got the Anastasia Moonchild palette. I did a little treat myself shopping yesterday. So I'm really excited to play with this. And it's 6 different highlight shades. So still Anastasia Beverly Hills, so that's kind of Nice that it's the same. And there's a purple one and a pink one. I think I'll use the purple on the purple side and the pink on the pink side, and then I can use them on the inner corners as well. I'm going to take Pink Heart from this and dust it lightly on there. Oh, work, bitch. Yeah, that's exactly what this needed. I'll do Blue Moon on the other side. I went ahead and did add some lashes on, did my hair up to kind of complete the look, and also tried to do a lip that matches. We've got what I think is a really good palette here. I'm excited to play with it. I made two really fun eye looks. I mean, these would be great as just doing this as both eyes, or this was both eyes. There is still the blue to play with that would go great with this purple. There's the yellow and the gold where you could do a similar look or even a much more toned down look. And then you've got all of those neutrals that are going to be great for just kind of more casual looks or even for the blending process. In terms of usability, let's revisit these two user groups that we were thinking about in the first place. So there are drag queens and then maybe more medium skilled or medium level makeup artists. And does this palette work for them? And I have to say, yes. I think people in both of those groups actually need makeup to perform very well and quickly. They don't want to spend a lot of time blending it out. And these all performed really well. The only one I had a bit of trouble with was the matte purple. And I think that was just hard to blend into my skin. But when I added some of the black and some more brown, it ended up looking pretty similar to the pink. With the pinks, I had no problems blending out at all. And in terms of the colors coming out, which you're going to need really bright colors for the stage, or really bright colors for just playing around with makeup, and if you only have a few shades you want those to pop, these colors are popping. On the sides, you can see the mattes are really popping in the middles, especially when I use my fingers, the metallics really showed up well. The only lackluster color that I used today, and I used 6 colors, I used 2 purples, a matte and a metallic, 2 reds, a matte and a metallic, a brown and a black, and a white. The one that I did have the issue with is the white. I think it could be fine for setting, but it really didn't show up a ton. And I went in with that highlight powder, which really helped make it a lot better. So maybe it's good just for setting, especially because I use a white concealer or like a cut crease. So it could be good to set that, but I don't really even like to set when I do something with a cut crease. So that's really the only disappointing one in this bunch that I got to use today. I'm going to show you how this looks in a different light. I'll use my bathroom light, I guess, and see if that's good. And I also have the swatches, so I can show you that my bathroom lighting as well, so you can see it in the best light. Okay, I am feeling my bathroom fantasy. My toilet paper. Yeah, I feel like this looks so good. It's really pigmented, which is great. We're looking for quick application, tons of pigment, tons of payoff. You can just take a look at the swatches on my arm. Again, really, they all show up super pigmented, especially the pinks and the purples. Thanks so much for watching this user experience usability review. Let me know if you want to see more of these. I think finding user experience and seeing how that applies to makeup palettes is really fun, and this is the newest palette I happen to receive. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, ring the bell. You know the deal. Bye, everybody.